Welcome back. I'm Richard Rahn, Principal with Leonardo Group Americas. I'm here with Gerard Leone, also one of our principals. And this is our series, Survive and Thrive the Downturn, using lean tools. The topic for this module is Accounts Receivable. So let's define what we mean by that, and then we'll talk into what lean might be able to do for us in terms of optimizing and improving accounts receivable. Remember, accounts receivable is part of our formula of working capital. So working capital, just a quick review, we had the cash that we're investing in the business, and the elements of working capital included inventory, it includes accounts receivable, and includes accounts payable. So we're focusing now on accounts receivable. This is simply invoices that we have out to our customers that we haven't been paid for yet. So we've shipped the product, but we have not yet been paid. And clearly this is important to us because until we get paid, we haven't really closed the loop, and cash is what drives our business. So that's our definition. Now, let's review some strategies that we might employ to actually do a better job of managing that piece of the business.
And this is interesting because when people think about lean, they think about lean manufacturing. So rarely we see folks that focus on office processes like this particular case. The idea here is to look at reducing the cash cycle by, again, linking, balancing, and reducing the waste in the office processes associated with invoicing and with collecting. One case we have is the one that we ended up calling, the code name for this was the squeaky wheel approach. This was an approach that was very well served by value stream mapping and applying the Kaizen methodology. When we value stream mapped the cash cycle for this particular company, we discovered, much to their surprise, that 1/3 of the time was in accounts receivable. We were waiting for money during 1/3 of the total time. What we did there was we assembled teams, we went into much more detailed value stream mapping, and we put together a series of methods to identify and eliminate the waste in that cash cycle. And also, why the squeaky wheel? Because part of it was to just stay on top. If you're the one asking for your money, you're the one that's likely to get it.
Right. Another example for you to be thinking about this topic of improving accounts receivable. One of our clients, when we looked closely at what they were doing, again through the value stream mapping process, we discovered that between the shipment of the product, so the product is out the door on a truck, and the time that they were actually able to get an invoice in the mail was averaging 6 days. So that's 6 days of just wasted giveaway time. Because remember, the customer probably is not going to set their clock to ticking until they get the invoice, when they enter it into their accounts receivable or accounts payable system. So the sooner you get the invoice to your customer, clearly, the sooner we can expect to get paid. So what happened there? Why the 6 days? Why did it take so long? Well, when we dug down deeper into the process, we discovered that there were 3 or 4 departments, separate departments, that needed to approve the final invoice. Customer service needed to look at it, obviously accounting needed to look at it, engineering needed to look at it, the material department needed to look at it, and every time you hand off any kind of work, and this is a universal truth, you typically have some delay. So our solution there was to get the different players together and use what we call time slicing. That means that for a certain period of time, every day, the different parties that would have to approve that invoice would get together and sit around the same table and actually process those invoices real time. And from that point forward, and they were able to maintain this discipline, the time dropped from 6 days to an average of less than 1 day for any invoice.
Low tech, inexpensive, yet very effective. One last case was the incorporation of office processes to the actual manufacturing line. We have by now designed and implemented around 14 to 15 hearing aid factories. And in most cases, what we have been able to do is to incorporate the invoicing process in the actual line. So after we build it, we test it, we package it, we invoice it, and we put it immediately into a courier package and ship it out the door, and the invoice leaves exactly at the same time. So again, for these office processes, don't forget the fact that they may be incorporated into line. Value stream mapping and Kaizen, one of the key tools to be used in there.
I would estimate, just as a wrap-up, that probably a third of our time these days on our lean, working with our customers on lean tools, is actually focused on non-manufacturing opportunities. Not just in accounting, but in new product development and customer service, a whole host of opportunities. And so a good chunk of our time is actually spent doing these kinds of things, where the Kaizen approach is usually the way we would want to approach this.
Absolutely. And one final reminder, go out to the accounting department, look for the piles. You see the piles, you see the delays. Get rid of them. Linking, balancing, piles will go away. You'll get your cash a lot faster. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Next time.